What is up, y'all? We back with a new video, man. So look, it's like 2 a.m. right now, 3 a.m. And like, what time is it, bro? Yeah, it's like 2:36 a.m. So, we got something to talk about, right? Basically, we are going to be talking about fifth dimensional consciousness, because I just remembered how to tune myself into that. Not just tune myself into that, but to the higher parts that I used to be tuned into that, and blah, blah, blah. So look, basically, 5D consciousness, you can look at it from a lot of perspectives, right? Because you can enter 5D consciousness energetically, mentally, physically, stuff like that, vibrationally. So, and 5D consciousness is required. You got to really open up your heart chakra, right? Not just open up your heart chakra, but also kind of like your lower chakras too. If you don't got your lower chakras really aligned, your root, sacral, and solar, then you're not really going to have your heart open. And see, why do I say this? Well, basically, I had woken up around like 1 a.m., right? But basically, I had tried going back to sleep, but I just couldn't. So I just got in a meditative state where I just started opening up my chakras. But it wasn't in a way where I had like, did it in like, oh, I'm going to open up my root and sacral and this, that, and the other, right? Basically, I had opened up my root chakra from getting rid of all the fear, stress, doubt, trauma, and confusion. And as well as the sacral chakra, you know what I'm saying, can't really overthink, because if you overthink, you're giving away your life force and energy and creative energy. And I just started expanding my stuff to new creative outputs and stuff. So, yeah, that's that. And I started gaining a vision of this scene where I had to basically I had to do like a weird combo on something, but then it was like I was imagining like I couldn't have done that, but it was like I knew I had full divine authority over myself. So I realized, you know what, if I can't even do it in my imagination, there's something wrong with my solar chakra, aka my willpower. So I'm like, you know what, I'm finna just break through from that. And then basically I started opening my my solar chakra more in a way where it was like, I started doing it, right? Like I started practicing on how to do it, and then I actually gained the momentum on how to do it. And that's what basically opened up my solar chakra. And then I moved on to the last step, right? Which this was opening my heart chakra. Now, once you open up your heart chakra, just know this. Once you open up your heart chakra, you basically tune in with 5D consciousness naturally. And when you tune into 5D consciousness naturally, you have the ability to literally like do you have the ability to go to higher consciousness states like 60, 70, 80, stuff like that. So basically, how I did this, I had basically remembered like last year, I had astral projected in a way where it was like, hold on, my bad. Okay. But basically, I had astral projected in a way where it was like, I had reached the 5D consciousness state. And I remember, you know what I'm saying, at the time, the only reason why I reached 5D consciousness was because not only was I in a mindset that was pure, you know what I'm saying, full of love, peace, unity, stuff like that. Not really any anger, and even if I did, I was just transmuted at the time. But also energetically too, you know what I'm saying. I wasn't really overthinking none of that. I was just on that. So, yeah, bro. You gotta really use your willpower and stuff to even get to the heart chakra. Because once you open up your heart chakra, you open up to 5D naturally. So, yeah, that is the first step to gaining your vibration to 5D consciousness, is having your heart chakra open. And to have it open, you got to be more in tune with love, peace, unity, stuff like that, wholeness. You can't even just like you can make fun of somebody, right? But you can't make fun of them in a way where you're breaking them. You know what I'm saying? Or you're trying to distort their vibration. Like, for real, for real. Because I could, like, somebody could do something bad to me, right? But then I just start talking about, like, they mama died or something. Like, come on, that's just wrong now. You know what I'm saying? All because they did something bad to me, I'm talking about they mama died. That ain't even cool. That's just using that against them, for real, for real. And that's not dope. So, yeah, that is that. That is something that is going to dim the heart chakra, right? And what else? You, like I said, you gotta have your root, sacral, and solar aligned. If once you get the way to get your root aligned is simple. You cannot overthink at all. You cannot overthink, bro. You can't. And you gotta be grounded in the present moment. You gotta be grounded in the present moment. And you cannot overthink. Can't have no fear, trauma, doubt, fear, confusion, or you can't have survival instincts on. Once you have all those off, your roots chakra starts expanding and you start becoming more aware of the present moment, right? Because that's what the root does. It helps you be more rooted into the present moment, okay? So that is that. But sacral chakra, to expand that is really just being creative and not wasting your life force. You know what I'm saying? Being creative is actually combining the solar power and the root power in a way, right? Because it takes a little bit of willpower to create something, but it also takes groundedness. If you don't got those, then you're not going to really charge up the sacral chakra, right? That's what I kind of learned. So you got to have just a little bit of willpower. You got to realize that you're able to create anything. You're able to create literal dimensions. You're able to create dimensions on dimensions. You're able to create kingdoms. In fact, most of our souls, like mine, we already probably built our own kingdoms, celestial cities, all that. I mean, I know I built some before in the astral realm. So that is that. And I built it in the astral realm before I even knew what the astral realm was. And I was there. I remember me being there. I just ain't know why I was there. That's the craziest part. Well, I did. My human mind just did it. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, that is that. And, another good way is definitely diets. You know what I'm saying? Definitely diets. Because once you try, like, tuning into these states, but you eat, like, a honey bun or something before that, that's not going to work, bro. You're going to have to eat some type of fruit, vegetables, something. Especially if you want to tune into the state energetically. You know what I'm saying? Because you can tune into it energetically while eating the snacks, but you're not going to feel it physically. The snacks is going to dim the vibration. And also fasting helps, hydrating yourself helps, stuff like that. Another thing is tuning with 5D consciousness. Or what was I on? Oh yeah, the sacral chakra, right? Being creative. I mean, you can literally be creative in a way where you're just like using your sacral chakra in a way where you're just like playing on a video game, right? That's opened up your sacral chakra and your creativity center and your willpower center, right? Because if you're racing something and you got to be good and stuff, you got to use that willpower. So that is that. But yeah, solar chakra, right? That's the willpower chakra. And to charge that, you got to just realize you can do anything, all right? And stop letting people dictate what you do. And don't force it in a way where you're like, forcing it with ego. Force it energetically with willpower. Realize that you're able to do it with the energy that you have and the energy that you are now. Okay? Because if you say that you can't do something, that's being on the same vibration as the demons. I'm going to be honest. Like, if someone has $5 billion, it don't matter how they made it. You say you can't make that in the same amount of time for any reason, you're on the same level of vibration as the demons. Because that comes from doubt. Demons love that doubt. They finna take your energy now. I ain't gonna cap. You know what I'm saying? But, see, you realize, hold on. I can make the same amount of money and more as that dude, bro. You start gaining that vibration. Even though it may not come true, you can actually make that come true if you just keep focusing on that vibration. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is frequency, which I'm going to make a video on that soon probably. But, yeah, bro. You gotta be rooted. You gotta be a little creative, and you gotta have willpower, bro. If you ain't got those, you're not finna reach the fourth stage, aka the heart chakra. All right. So look, what happens when you reach 5D consciousness to begin with? Well, let me just tell you, it is crazy. It is crazy energy stuff. All right, especially if you just tune in with it, not just mentally and with your consciousness, but also with like your energy field. Because some people just tune in with it with their awareness and consciousness, which that's cool, but that's like you're not bringing that down into your etheric body, right? You're just experiencing it. Now, if you bring that 5D consciousness energy into your etheric body, that's a whole different story, which I'm about to tell you that now. All right. So I had a dream last year, like I said. I had astral projected, but I had tuned in with the 5D consciousness part. And I've also had experiences after that where I tuned into like 5.5D, 5.8D. And I think in this experience it was actually 5.8D. I could be totally wrong. I could be totally wrong. Y'all don't gotta go off my word, but that's just something that's telling me right now. That's just something's telling me it was, yeah. And then it's like, it's a lot of parts too, not just 5D, but also 4D and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Oh, and another thing, to reach 5D, you cannot be evil, right? I forgot to say that. You cannot be evil at all when it comes to reaching 5D. Even if you're doing habits that's impulse or consciously or disguising it as something, knowing that it's bad, you're not going to reach 5D consciousness. You're going to reach 4.8D consciousness. You might reach 4.9D. You're not going to reach 5D consciousness. I'm going to just say that right now. All right, that's the true facts. And what else, bro? It's so much to it. My bad. There's so much to it. Yeah, you cannot be evil at all, bro. That's the thing that I had learned, right? Because last year I was in a state where I was actually in tune with 5D consciousness until people's vibrations actually started to take me over in the way where I started having their habits, this, that, and the other. And I realized that was drifting me off not just from 5D consciousness, but also from my soul and spirit. So I had to get that back. But yeah, bro. Once you tune into 5D consciousness, you tune into your heart chakra, bro, right? Your heart chakra is basically the bridge between your higher chakras and your lower chakras. Once you open up your heart chakra, you can basically just go ahead and open up all your chakras, right? Like, I can literally use my heart chakra to transmute all of the negative energy that's within my chakras right now, which I actually did before this video. That's why I'm kind of making this video. Not the reason why, but it kind of gave me an idea for this video. So yeah, bro. And to do that is to literally just feel it inside of your heart. Feel it with love, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you had an experience that actually gave you love and didn't betray you, this, that, and the other, feel that inside of your heart and use that, bro. It's gonna definitely help you. Like, bro, it's actually crazy because once you tune into this state, bro, I'm gonna just say you better not fall back down, bro. Cause I had fallen back down from this state, bro, and it took me a while to get back up to this state, bro. All right, like for real, for real. It took me a while to get back up to this state. So that is that. Yeah. You will open up your heart chakra so much, bro. You will just feel so much love and peace, like no other. Like, you will literally feel your true energetic self. It's gonna feel like you able to breathe more again. I'm not even lying. This is actually like from my experience on what happens when you tune in with 5D consciousness. It's actually crazy. And then if you make it so that you tune in with 5D consciousness physically, like I said, in a way where you're like being healthy, you know what I'm saying? You have a good habits, you got a good diet, you know what I'm saying? Exercising, this, that, and the other, you being creative, bro. I mean, your chakras is just gonna open beyond 5D. Once you get to 5D, you can literally go to many other vibrations. But most people don't even reach 5D consciousness. Most people are stuck between the third and fourth density. Which, when you stuck between the third when you stuck in a third density consciousness, you stuck in animalistic consciousness. You ain't got you reacting off impulse thoughts. You're not even aware. You don't realize that you are the soul. You think that you have a soul, but you're still not connected to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. But once you tap into that fourth density, you gain a sense of yourself. You gain a little sense that you are the soul and that you are immortal. But you're not fully tapped into your soul still. You're not fully tapped in. You know how to use it. You know that you can, but you probably not. And even if you is, you're not using it right. You know what I'm saying? Or you're not using it to a certain extent that's supposed to get you to that 5D consciousness. So that is that, bro. And it's real easy to get to the 5D consciousness. Once you're in 5D consciousness state, that's when you realize, well, that's when you're literally in a state of pure love, like pure love, bro. And then even then you can also be in pure truth by opening up your throat chakra, because you can open up your higher chakras with your heart chakra, which I've done before, and also your third eye and crown. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, that is that. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. Hopefully that's all I needed to say for this video about 5D consciousness. Make sure y'all stay aligned. Eat healthy, bro. Don't let negative vibrations distort you or distract you in every way, shape, and form. Because I'm going to just tell you this. They will try, probably, once you tune into 5D consciousness. But if you know how to protect your energy, you good. I know how to protect mine a little bit. Learning how to more and more each day. So, you know, that is that. But make sure y'all like, subscribe, man. Turn on the post notifications, bro. And yeah, that's that.